To discuss this further, let's bring in Middle East analyst Micah Halpern. Micah, we just heard Kushner say the Trump administration will put its peace plan forward after the end of Ramadan. He said the release was already delayed by Israel's recent elections. Why are they waiting?
Well, firstly, good evening, everyone. The most important element in terms of the wait, the process of the wait, is to make sure that the timing is right for all sides. Now, this is not the first time it was delayed. Neither is the first time that it was announced. So it's not certain. I would not bet that it will happen at the beginning of June either. Many things could happen to derail the announcement. Everything has to be perfect, set still, in order to promote this.
Micah, you know, when asked if his plan was a two-state solution, Kushner said his plan is different and that it would be focused on economic benefits for Palestinians and on security for Israel. What do you read into this?
Well, actually, I have to tell you that I have not read the plan. Neither has anyone else. So most of the people who are talking about it don't have real insight into the plan. It's all based on rumors and speculation. That said, I think it's important to recognize that Kushner has suggested that there are multiple sides of the potential two-state. On the one hand, he said it's going to be an economic-based plan and work from the bottom up, that is, make the lives of Palestinians better. On the other, he said, we're going to consider everything in the plan. Now, evidently, it's a very, very detailed plan of tens of pages, so much so that the president himself, according to some of the sources that I have, has not actually read the entire plan either. There are only 4 people, possibly, that have been engaged in the plan from the start.
Okay, Micah, Kushner has said that those involved are going to have to make hard decisions and some tough compromises. Do you think maybe he's referring to the Israeli settlement issue?
Oh, I think that he's referring to all parties, that is the Palestinians and the Israelis. When you've got to remember that when Trump made this tremendous move to recognize Israel as the capital, Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, and move the embassy to Jerusalem, he also said that that now it's time for big compromises. That was a statement to Israel, saying that Israel, now that I've thrown you this tremendous prize, now it's time for you to make some compromises also. We did the same thing in speaking about the Golan Heights. They said that they recognized that Israel's control over the Golan Heights. In other words, Israel is going to be asked to compromise on serious things. Also, the Palestinians are going to be asked to compromise, not just Israel. So it's important to recognize that both are going to be asked to compromise. There is no question in my mind that that's the case.
But Micah, what role does the good relationship between President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu play here? I mean, it's got to be a factor.
Of course, it's a factor because they talk. The Abbas isn't even talking to Trump. Neither is he talking to Netanyahu. So it is a factor. There's no doubt. The interesting thing about being a moderator, someone in the middle of trying to moderate both sides, is that you have to bring them together, and you know that both sides have to compromise. He is not hiding that reality. He's saying to Netanyahu, you're going to have to compromise. And that's clear. Netanyahu is saying, okay, we don't know what those compromises are going to be, but there is certainly compromise that's going to have to be made on the Israeli side. There's no doubt about it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a good deal. And if anything, Trump is in favor of good deals and coming to good deals.
Right, Micah, talking about compromises, even Kushner admitted in his comments to Time magazine that it'll be up to both Israel and the Palestinians to come to terms with the plan. How likely do you think that is, considering the history between the two?
That's a better question, that relating to the larger situation. That is, at this stage, that there's no way to move ahead with this deal of the century if the Palestinians aren't even interested in reading it. In other words, you can't reject the deal before you've even seen it, and they've rejected the deal before they've seen it. So what you're suggesting is that maybe the compromise is an important idea. Will the Palestinians even engage in the compromise process? Right now, I would say the Palestinians are flexing their muscles and saying, we're not even going to come into the sphere. We're not even going to enter the arena because we don't like the deal. Well, you can't actually judge the deal without seeing it, but right now, status that we're in.
And Micah, as far as you can tell, I mean, with Trump delaying the rollout of this peace plan, I mean, do you think that the timing here is critical? I mean, we know he's waiting until Ramadan, but what could be the impact of waiting until after that holiday?
There there are two things at stake here. He's not just waiting for Ramadan, he's also waiting for Netanyahu to form a government. So both things are part of the process. Again, it's classic in their time. It's not just waiting for the Israelis, it's also waiting for the Palestinians out of respect to the Islamic world. That said, waiting is always good from the point of view of this kind of plan, because it means that people's anticipation is building, and you could always push it off again if something comes up. And that's what's happening. And they're fine-tuning it all the time. And that's what we're seeing in terms of the context of this. The reality is that Kushner, Greenblatt, Friedman, the ambassador, these are the characters that are really involved in this. They're the ones that are going over every little detail, and they are not sharing. This is enormously unusual for Washington, enormously unusual for this administration, that not just leaks, tweets. It's an administration that loves to tweet. They love to tell us what's going on. And here we know nothing about the details. And certainly it's not just counterintuitive. It's downright fascinating.
Okay, Micah, in his interview with Time magazine today, Kushner said that he's been approaching this process differently, that they've created this detailed proposal by engaging with people from the region. Do we know who he has been engaging with?
Yeah, we have ideas because we've sort of followed his schedule as he makes his way around. The big question right now, actually, it's an interesting challenge, is that the United States really wants the Saudis to be the point. And just over the last few days, it's been made aware to us, at least the people who are following it, that the Prime Minister's office in Israel has said they're trying to urge that El-Sisi, the head of Egypt, be the point man, that he be the font through which all the real dialogue with the Palestinians take place, not the Saudis. So we're seeing a little tension there between Israel and the United States as they work this dialogue.
Middle East analyst Micah Halpern. Micah, thanks for being here.